Okay, so the book I read was 1984 by George Orwell, and basically it's about this character named Winston Smith. And Winston Smith is just a regular worker at the party. And the party is basically some low-key shady organization that watches everyone's moves and they can record whatever you say using these telescreens throughout the city.
That's pretty perverted right there.
Ah, you could say so. And basically he meets this character at his work. His name's O'Brien. And O'Brien basically works for this organization called the Brotherhood. Brotherhood is basically the rebellious version of the party. They just want to overthrow him.
Yeah,
So
overthrow the power.
So obviously Winston's like, yeah, I could totally go for this. I like this dude. And so a few weeks pass, he meets another character, and her name is Julia. And basically, she's a really attractive girl. And so he's like,
oh, really attractive.
And so he's like, maybe I can do something with her that can totally rebel against the party. So they kind of have an affair thing. They kind of do, when a man loves a woman. And so
I get it.
they do it out of rebellious action for the party, so they really hate the party at this point. And a few weeks pass, they start to fall in love, and they fall in love, but then when they fall in love, they hate the party even more, so it just totally helps their cause. And turns out later on in the book that O'Brien is secretly working for the party, and he's basically befriended Winston to overthrow his little brotherhood organization. And so basically at the end of the book, he reveals to Winston that he's been working for the party the entire time. And Winston's just kind of like, oh, how did I not see this? And so at the end of the book, Winston gets tortured. And basically, Winston doesn't really remember anything at all of hating the party, or Big Brother as it seems to be called. And so at the end, he has no recall whatsoever of rebelling. And he claims to love the party. So that is my book, 1984 by George Orwell.
What a plot twist ending. Disappointing that you spoiled it, though. Wait, first of all, what do you like about the book?
What I like about the book is basically this character called Big Brother, and he's kind of intimidating because you really don't know who he is, but he knows everything about you. Because he uses the telescreens to watch your every move. He can hear whatever you say, so you can't really do anything in secret. And if you do anything in secret, he's just going to send all these police at you, and they're going to torture you until you forget what you did. So
That sounds really interesting. Wait, is there a movie for this?
yes, but it's like kind of old.
Ah.
Hi there. My book is called Nihilum Zone. It's part of a series known as Desolate Era. And so the book starts off with our hero, Jining, stuck facing his guilty conscience of killing 10 billion innocent people. And so he spends the first quarter of the book trying to overcome his guilty conscience. But right when he figures out that it wasn't really his fault, he realizes that he's stuck outside the known universe in a place known as the Nihilum Zone. And so he realizes that he has no power to get back. But right as things seemed hopeless, an alien spaceship arrived. But they were not
really quickly.
But they weren't a friend, they were actually enemies, and they called the entire alien army to come and capture him. And so Jining is now stuck as a training dummy for the army. And so he goes through enemy after enemy after enemy until he finally meets their general. And so during a spar with the general is simply too strong, forcing 7 mysterious allies to materialize out of nowhere.
He needs
and
the power
save
of friendship to win.
and save Jining. And so the 7 mysterious figures combine to form the 7 planets god and destroy the general. But this enrages the alien leaders known as the Queen Mothers. And so they arrive and they fuse to form their own beast, leaving Jining once again hopeless. All of this forces Jining's master, the space monk Subhuti, to tear a hole through space-time and destroy their entire planet with one palm strike. And so the book ends off with Jining and Subhuti discussing why the aliens went after him. It turns out that Jining's universe and the aliens were in a war once upon a time, and they killed most of the aliens off, and so they wanted to study Jining to exact their revenge upon their universe. And this leads into book 17 of Desolate Era, known as Celestial Immortal.
How many books are there?
45.
What do you like about the book?
Well, I really like the fact that it's so bizarre and goofy and zany. The entire tone of the book is extremely serious, but if you just took any situation out of context, it would just like seem like something out of a stand-up comedy.
This is the fifth weirdest book series I've ever heard of.
So what about your book?
My book is called Rise of the Shield Hero. Rise of the Shield Hero about this college student named Naofumi, who is an otaku. In a nutshell, this is someone who likes anime, video games, technology stuff. So, when he was in his college library looking for some manga, a book fell on his head. As he reads it, he notices that it's one of those cliche books about 4 heroes and then gets transported to another world. The world that the book takes place in fact. So, anyway, once he wakes up, he notices he's surrounded by 3 other guys, and he has a shield stuck to his hand. These four men are all supposed to be the 4 heroes that are transported to this world. The hero of the lamps, bow, and sword. Oh, and the shield hero, the main character.
Anime Captain America.
Well, there's no anime for it yet, but sadly. So as the king and a bunch of people introduce themselves to them, the king asks them each of their names, except for the shield hero, because he doesn't give a damn about him. I forgot the names of their 3 heroes, because I don't give a damn about them. So anyway, the king calls forth warriors to follow the different heroes. No one follows Naofumi, the shield hero, because he has a shield. So, he's being ostracized. Everybody hates him. But one girl named Mine, M-E-I-N, I don't know how to pronounce it, don't ask me. She decides to follow him out of pity. So then the king gives each of the heroes' parties a sum of money. The shield hero the most, because he only has 1 follower. So as Naofumi and Mine go and buy some new equipment, the shield hero realizes he cannot equip any other weapons. He can only have the shield he has, disappointingly. So he'll forever be weak. Now, as they go out of the city to fight some monsters and gain experience, he notices that his defense is incredibly high. He cannot feel pain whatsoever. Hell, he can keep a freaking slime biting him for a whole day and he wouldn't die. So when they go to the inn to rest, Naofumi says how he appreciates how Mine decided to join him, even though it was out of pity. So as Naofumi wakes up, goes to sleep, and then wakes up, he's shocked to see that all the stuff they bought and the rest of the money was stolen. Then, out of more circumstantial events, the royal guard arrests him because he was accused of sexual harassment. As he's taken back to the castle, everybody calls him a rapist. Everybody's just discriminating against him. He's being hated so much. He notices the Lance hero is wearing the stuff that he bought for himself, and he said that Mine is the one that gave it to him. Then Mine says, keeps moaning and whining that he raped her. So, as Naofumi gets super angry, the darkness within his heart envelops a certain rage. He basically becomes the anti-hero of our story. The main character as the anti-hero. So he wonders why he has to protect these useless filths who is just bringing him down to make themselves look better. He says if they hate him so much, why don't they bring him back to his own world? The king says he would love to, but he'd have to kill all the heroes for him to go back to their own world. So, as he mocks them for this, he gets kicked out of the castle, and that's when his journey begins.
So what inspired you to read this book?
Well, I saw it on Facebook and it looked interesting. But why I like the book is because after he leaves the castle, he's a complete badass. He's a complete anti-hero. If someone gives him shit, the monsters that he brings with him, he actually throws them at them. So then they freaking, be in pain. And also eventually he buys some slaves to join on his journey, stuff like that. And eventually he realizes that his shield can actually absorb materials and dead body parts to be able to use more powerful. In fact, his shield can become an Iron Maiden to destroy opponents. So yeah.